Hello, hello. Oh, yes. Hopefully, we should be live here. I believe we are. So, hello, my friends, and welcome to Friday Motivation. And this is something I usually do on a Friday. This one here is going to be special. Turn off that phone. Today, I'm going to be sitting down with one of my coaches, well, two of my coaches, special little furry people. These two, not only have they walked the walk, they've talked the talk. They've helped so many people find their way, find a path to earn additional income outside of that 9-to-5 grind. So, whether they're, how can we put it, parents, busy parents, immigrants like myself, nurses, IT people, public transport, construction, you name it, they've mentored them, they've coached them. And deep down inside, you might be thinking, this life is not it's not meant for me. Well, this could be the thing that is meant for you. But before I introduce myself, or before I introduce those, let me tell them a little bit about myself. For those of you seeing me for the first time, my name is Andrew Estwick. I'm here today to hopefully inspire at least one of you to take a first step towards creating the life that you deserve. As always, let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments so I can see how global we are. I'm an online business owner. I love what I do. I do what I love, which is to help everyday ambitious people like yourselves transition from your 9-to-5 or shift work to starting a flexible online business. Now, if this sounds like something that you might be interested in, drop me a message in one of my contact details, which will be scrolling along the bottom of the screen soon, or just leave me a message in the contacts. What can I say? I immigrated from Canada I immigrated to Canada from England about 22 years ago with my family. I faced a lot of challenges trying to find work because I didn't have the so-called Canadian work experience, which doesn't make no sense to me whatsoever. But despite that, I had a background in like 20 years of being a computer technician. I couldn't get a job, so I had to take whatever came along, and I ended up becoming a security guard. I struggled financially, living paycheck to paycheck and accumulating debt. Now, eventually things did improve. I got a job as an audiovisual technician. Then I became a supervisor and eventually a project manager. But with a big title comes big responsibilities and more stress. Now, my daughter, who would have been in her last year of high school, expressed to me that she wanted to go to university. For those of you who've sent your kids to university or who are going to send your kids to university, it ain't cheap. 4-year courses are not cheap. And I had no savings to support her desire to go on to do further education. But determined not to let her down, I took what some would call drastic measures. I sold things I didn't need. I maxed out my credit card, increased line of credit. And then shortly after that, I was hit with, let's call it a critical illness. But here's where it gets interesting and shows you how God works in funny ways, mysterious ways. So I was at home on Facebook, looking at people's business like you usually do. And this ad came up about this couple who transformed their lives for an online business, paying off significant debt and gaining more family time. Now, I was intrigued. I said, okay. I was inspired. I thought, let me just listen to what these people have to say. I listened to them. I had meetings with them. And I went ahead and did what they had to say. And I set up my own online business. Now, right now, business is running smoothly. It's not only bringing me closer to early retirement, hopefully in the Caribbean somewhere, Barbados, number one on the list, followed very closely by Costa Rica, but also securing a better future for my family. So, without further delay, I am going to bring to you, or bring to the stage, my favorite two little furry people. My favorite furry people, Roger and Renee Ennis.
How you doing, sir? How you doing? How you doing?
Wonderful. I am good. Hey, this has been a long time coming.
Absolutely.
It's been a very, very long time coming, but due to this and due to that and me procrastinating as per usual, but I said to myself, no, this has got to be done, and it's got to be done this week.
Absolutely.
So on here, introduce yourself, guys. We're going to be very mannersly and have ladies first.
Manners. Absolutely. Good.
Hello, everyone. I'm Renee, and I was a full-time registered nurse when I found this online business in 2019. And we were living in Toronto at that time, but now we live in Calgary, Alberta, and we love it here. Yeah, we love it here for the family, I think. And I'll hand it over to you.
So my name is Roger. I was working before this business. I was working as a designer in a insurance company, traveling 3 hours downtown Toronto, back and forth, 3 hours in total. And yes, we live in Calgary. It's wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. We love it. Right now, it's very sunny. It's not as cold as you always see on TV. Trust us. It does get cold, but it's not always like that. Okay.
I had when I told people I was moving to Canada, they was telling me, "Oh, but it's cold. They got polar bears out there." And I said, "You watch too much TV."
Yeah.
Stop that. Okay, so let's jump into some questions, which I have for the two of you. Do you want to answer them both together, or do you want one for one?
We can, if you're okay, we can take turns. We can answer whoever's
okay.
ready. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that. So, my first question to you is, how is this business different from the so-called MLMs or multi-level marketing or get-rich schemes, which are out there at the moment?
Oh, that's a good question.
Very.
Actually, that was one of the things that I also asked when I found this in 2019, because I didn't want to get involved in, anything that was questionable, right? Because we're believers and we have good professions. So we wanted to, hold on to our reputation, I guess. So I found out that schemes, all those schemes that you hear people talking about, the pyramids and just the illegal stuff when it comes to network marketing and all that, that's all banned and illegal in most countries, So the fact that one of our affiliate companies that we work with this online business has been around for 51 years is a testament to that, So it won't be allowed by the Canadian government or the UK government or the US government to run if it was a scheme for 51 years, right? So that kind of sets us apart in that area. And also, it's just not like I understand when people say right away the default is scheme, pyramid, MLM, when you're looking from the outside, because you don't really have information to go on, right? But we encourage you guys to go in and check it out for 30 days because it's risk-free anyway. But you will find that it's not. In fact, we have a couple people that we introduced to this business via ads. So we don't bug friends and family. So it's all through ads. They found our ad a year after, maybe 2 years after we started the business. And now they earn so much more than us monthly, right? And we are so proud to say that, because that is a testament to how this is not a pyramid. This is not a typical MLM where everybody at the top, they're the ones who are earning money, and the people at the bottom, sorry, you just gave us your money. Yeah. So here, when you go in, you become the CEO, and you determine how much you earn. We actually give you a strategy to the point that you get to earn all the commissions for yourself. So nobody else earns from your efforts. We teach you that. It's in the business system strategy. So I think those two things you kind of have to think about, right? Because it's very different from what you hear outside. But that's a very good question.
And additionally, if we mentioned that you actually, as business owners, you do pay taxes. So in the UK, you get your HRMC, I believe it's called. In Canada, you get your T4A. In the US, you get your
W9.
W9 as well.
Yeah.
So you pay taxes every single year, legitimately.
Legitimate business right there. Okay. Question number 2. So you guys took a leap of faith and stepped into the unknown. Whose idea was it? I know it's I know it's her. And who was the skeptical one?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, so great question. And we actually, over a period of time, because we had 2 children at the time, we had 1, and we were always looking for a way to, because the 9 to 5, with the 9 to 5, like we mentioned earlier, I work in technology and my wife works in nursing, in medical. And so we always got a small amount of time with each other, and we were always working, and we had to send our child to daycare, home daycare and stuff like that. So it wasn't the best setup. So because of that, we were always looking for ways to earn extra income, do Amazon, do this, do that, online Quibids, a bunch of different things. So for this, definitely, I mean, most definitely, Renee found it, and it was awesome. So I'll let her tell the rest of the story.
Yeah. So the answer to the both questions, it was me. So I found it, but I was also the skeptical one because he's more the risk taker. And we find that with couples, when couples do this business, there's always the one who's like, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And there's one who holds back, right? But it's good for the family to have that balance.
Yeah.
So for anybody who's skeptical here, don't worry. We welcome that, right? We encourage you to use your skepticism to go get the information that you need. But I was skeptical. I wasn't skeptical about the business, actually. I was skeptical about myself because I was so shy. I was in a box. I was a nurse. I didn't have any business experience, social media experience, tech experience, nothing. So I was doubting myself. I saw the system and I knew it could work because I already saw, like it's a step-by-step thing. Yeah, it will work. But for myself, putting myself out there, that was my I think my hurdle because of me being an introvert. But now I've come to learn after almost 6 years that there is a way for you to present yourself on social media without having to betray your values and your authenticity. And so now I really love it. I enjoy it. It's like it's just a hobby now, but it pays you like a business now. Before, we really had to learn the steps and the skills. But for those of you who are, I guess, skeptical about your own abilities because you don't have special skills, you don't know how to speak maybe right now, just remember that this is all a skill, right? So if you want to build something for yourself and your family, you have to learn lucrative skills. And the most lucrative skills right now that doesn't require you to work double time is online. It's through social media. So if you're a person, if you're a parent who's been thinking about, you want extra income, but you don't necessarily want to work more because that takes you away from your family. The goal is to be with your family and still get the extra income. Social media skills is what you need to learn. And it's like riding a bike, learning how to drive. It's a skill. At the beginning, you will suck. Yeah, because I did. But then, daily, consistently, when you work at it, oh my gosh, even just a 1 degree thing that you do each day for your business now, right? Nobody else is going to benefit. It's you and your family. So you will be incentivized in a way to work at it daily. And I think that by the grace of God, that's how we got to where we are now. Because of that, you just have to have the right mindset to be like, you know what, yeah, this is a skill and I can learn it just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So in your experience of doing this, you said about 6-7 years now you've been doing the business.
Almost 6, yeah.
What kind of person really thrives in this business and who tends to struggle?
Okay, yeah. So great question there. In terms of the differences between the two, for someone who really has a desire, and we talked to a lot of people, we talked to people from Canada, all over the world, right? It's a worldwide business, and so anyone can do the business, run their business. But for those who have a real desire to make a change for themselves, for their families, they have that desire to go the extra mile and do what it takes to transition. Hey, I have a 9 to 5, I work, I have a job, and but you know what, my job is not doing exactly what I need it to do. It did it for a time, but now it's time to say, hey, I got to do something additional, something extra for my family. I need to see my spouse instead of passing them, doing a tag team every night or so. I need to see my children. I go out on call every night, and my children say to me, Dad, Mom, why do you have to go out to work all the time? Can you spend more time with us? I want to be able to do my renovation on my home because I really need to do that because we have a baby on the way, right?
Right.
Many different stories. So for those who have that desire and they want to see that change, those are the people who really say, hey, this is my plan A, and I really want to get that done, and I'm going to get it done. For those who say, I'm not sure, I'm skeptical, but I'm not going to find out the information, I'm not going to necessarily go after it, and it's kind of like a second option. Those are the people that may fall by the wayside, may not do as much as they had initially said. So that's the way I would kind of see it.
So they say they're going to do it, but they don't do it, but they still want to reap the rewards.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I hear you. I hear you. Now, Renee, you said something about mindset a minute ago. So mindset's a big game changer. What was the biggest mindset shift that you had to make to start seeing results?
Yeah, I think what would that be? I have it's been a lot because it's a process, right? Like you don't become a millionaire overnight, so you learn as you go. But I think one of the biggest things for me was saying that I'm not an employee anymore. It's very interesting because when you're an employee, even if you show up, 25% at your job, you still get paid, right?
Right.
But when you have a business, you can't do that. And it shows. It will show, and you will suffer. Your husband suffers. Your family suffers when you don't show up as your best self with 100%. So with the employee, when you're an employee, you can kind of get away with, doing things half-heartedly and not really being intentional, and you still get that paycheck, right? But that's all you get. That's it. So it's kind of like a patch, right? And you have to go back each week just to get it. So entrepreneurship it really stretches you, but I don't think, I always say this, you don't really live until you actually do a business. Because through a business, you get to know yourself, you get to know your capacities, you get to face your worst fears, but then you also overcome them. And it's so beautiful. Like you get to experience life so vibrantly when you have a business, because it's just like, you can't say, oh, my boss did this, so I'm just going to do this. or they did that to me. You know, like the victim mentality stops, and you have to take charge and be accountable. And it's so beautiful when you overcome, because you actually get to be like, hey, I get to stay with my kids because I made a commitment that I kept. It's like, it's very fulfilling, you know. So for those people out there who are thinking, I'm not a business person, right? I don't think anybody wants to go in business just to struggle, but people want the freedom. And so as long as you are trading time for money, this is another mindset shift. If you're trading time for money, you will never win, and you'll never be free, and you will never get to the goals that and the desires that God's placed in your heart. Why? Because you're always capped. Those big dreams that you have, you need to be limitless. You need to have a team. You need to have a system in place for those big dreams. If you are a person here like Andrew, right? He mentioned he wanted to retire in the Caribbean. Guess what? Andrew's not going to do that on himself. He on his own.
Yeah.
He needs a system for that, an automated system, so that he gets beach money, right? The money comes even while he's in the beach relaxing. It's the same thing for you. If you have that dream or a similar dream where you want to work less but still earn more, you need a system. You need a team to work with you, to run with you, to get to your goals. So people who play in the, you know, play in this level, but they have this level when it comes to dreams, right? What are you doing? You have to meet that gap, right? You have to make up that gap and learn the skills and grow here, because we always talk about this on our meetings, right, Andrew?
Yep.
If you expand yourself, your business eventually gets bigger. Inevitably, it gets bigger. Your bank account gets bigger. But the problem with people today is they want the big results with minimal effort.
And they
Right?
want it now.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And so that's why you're stuck. That is why you're stuck. But guess what? People can change like this, just like this.
Yeah. Decision.
If you make a decision just like this, you could start a business tomorrow, and you can be open to earning commissions tomorrow through this system. Think about that for a second, right? If you're serious, connect with Andrew, but more on that later.
More on that later.
Yeah.
So, what kind of growth, personal growth, have you guys gone through since starting a business?
Oh man, that's cool too. That's really good. Personally, I love personal growth. I'm a growth type of mindset person.
It's annoying sometimes.
I'm like I don't know if I'm like a coach or a gym instructor or something. I don't know.
It's true.
But I just love it. I just love that. So in terms of the mind shift, we just spoke about that, and that's one thing in terms, and that's where everything starts. That's really where it begins. But the growth, some of the one thing I guess I could mention is that we have in terms of personal growth, writing things down. So it may seem like okay, write things down, whatever. Okay, whatever. However, think about this. Once you write things down, you're able to see it outside of your mind.
Right.
It's visible, it's physical, you can touch it, you can see it, somebody else can also see it. Essentially, it becomes real, it becomes more tangible. And if you write multiple things down, now you have a list of things to do, and that list of things can be goals, desires, things that
Looks like we have lost Roger and Renee. Could be an internet problem going on there on their side. I know they usually have internet problems over there on the West Coast because they haven't paid their bill. Nope. Oh, look, they're back.
There we are. Okay, cool.
When I put 25 cents in the meter. Next time, write that down, Roger. Put money in the meter before the next meeting.
I have a pen right here.
Yeah.
That's a goal.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. So what I say, so it could be a goal, it could be a desire for yourself, for your family, for your children, where you want them to get to for today, for tomorrow, for next week, for next year. So writing things down is so important. And that's one thing that I can mention amongst many other things that is a point of personal growth for myself, right? Learning through this business.
Yeah, I'm a stickler for writing things down and post-it notes. My monitor at work has got post-it notes all over. It looks like a Christmas tree. I've got my book here with all post-it notes all over the place on it.
Yes.
If I don't see it, it just goes straight out my mind.
Absolutely.
I have short-term memory loss, so I have to write things down. So this is for a lot of people. A lot of people is going to resonate with this. Many of us are juggling, work, family, and life. Can you walk us through your daily or weekly routine when you were still working full time and trying to build your business?
Yeah. Okay. For me, design, that's what I initially did for an insurance company, working full time. So I'll go back there and kind of walk you through what that looked like. So at the time, Renee was on mat leave, but she was nursing, and our youngest and had our eldest running around, both little. So pockets of your day. You start the day, of course, with I go out to work and I have lunchtime. I have pockets of my day. I have a break and things like that. I can actually jump on my phone and look at my business, even starting the day out, go through the system and learn some skills and grow myself, right, in that way. And like when I'm on the GO train or the subway, or maybe at the stop, or I'm on the bus, I'm back on my phone again, pockets of the day. And it's up to you to intentionally, it was up to me to intentionally make those decisions to do those things. And so doing those little things move the needle intentionally every day, every moment, right? And so I was able to gain knowledge through that. I was able to now apply that knowledge that I gained, and that was able to help us through the business. For Nate, it was different because she was at home, but still she had the children to attend to, and that was priority. That was the first thing. But she also had pockets of the day where they would sleep, take a nap. Maybe they're playing with a toy. Maybe you have time. There is time, right, in your day to be able to do these things. And so that's what our daily looked like, building up to our weekly and our monthly, right? So it's all very doable, and it was doable.
Yeah, that reminds me of what somebody said. They said you don't really need more time. You need more intentional time. So if you only have 10 minutes to move your business forward, be 100% within that time frame, working on your business, no distractions, no excuses, 10 minutes, and that's it. And you kept that commitment to yourself. And then you're going to be more, encouraged to go back another day because it's just 10 minutes. So you design this however you want, you design this.
Excuse me just a moment.
I know we talked about this last week. You're going to have to make sacrifices and be prepared to give up things. So if you're sitting there watching Netflix every night, you could be watching Handmaid's Tale. That's good. I like that. That's nice. 6 seasons. Or watching Yellowstone. So you're watching 6 seasons of Yellowstone and Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid's Tale is like an hour for each, 10 episodes. So do the math, which you could have been sitting down. But that brings us on, which nicely brings us on to the next one for somebody sitting at home right now thinking, well, I only have 1 or 2 hours a day. Can I still work from home and do this? And you've basically answered the question. You can, if you apply yourself and have intentional time.
Yeah, easily.
Easily,
Mhm.
easily. So if we go on to our next one, so what kind of results did you see in your first 6 months? And when did you start to feel like, okay, I can really do this. It's working. I can
Mm,
see there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Mhm.
that's good.
Mhm.
First 6 months, I guess there was a lot of learning and unlearning.
Yeah.
Um, but the result, it didn't happen in 6 months, but after 8 months, I was able to. Okay, I'm gonna preface this. Okay, for the people who are watching and who are very skeptical, this is a business now. We're not talking about a job that pays you. This is a business. So if you apply yourself, like Andrew said, you can do so much. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'll preface that. But after 8 months, I was able to not only replace my full-time nursing salary, but surpass it after 8 months of doing the business. Now, granted, we've talked about sacrifice. We didn't watch anything, no Netflix, no movie out, no, no
Mhm.
wasting time for the 8 months because we were learning, right? We were trying to better ourselves, better our skills.
Mhm.
So we committed to that. But I think around let me see, I don't know, maybe from 6 to 8 months, that's when I was like, I kind of found my groove. And for each person, it will be a different rhythm,
Mhm.
right? Because we all have different schedules, we all have different ways of dealing with things. But for me, around the 6 month mark, we like to say to people when we do a coaching call, give yourself 6 months to a year to find your groove in this business, right? So some people in our community, and Andrew's in that paid group as well, um, a couple of them, they'd probably earn $100,000 within the first 3 months because they don't have kids. They lock themselves in the room for, how many hours each day, and they concentrate on the business, and that's what they get, right? So you have to have realistic expectations as well based on your situation. So if you're someone who's homeschooling 5 kids and you're trying to make an income through this business, you have to also stretch it out, right? Because you only have a certain amount of hours in the day. So it's important for you to be like, you know what are my goals for the first 3 months, 6 months? And then if you don't hit them, just extend them, right? You don't
Mhm.
have to be really hard on yourself. Nobody is harping down your back. This is your business
Mhm.
and you build it however you want it. For me, one of the results that I found was I really found joy in it. I didn't get
Mhm.
stressed out. I didn't get burnt out because, again, my expectations were real. I said to myself, I'm nursing my kid. I have a toddler. How will it look like for me? Don't look
Right.
at other people. How will it look like for me? And what does success look like for me in the next 6 months, the next year?
Yeah.
Um, but for us, even with all that, because we were really serious, and I have help at home. So that's another thing. If you are probably going to be doing this business with a spouse who doesn't support it, then, that's going to take some time and adjustment on your part.
Mhm.
So you have to factor that in as well. So you will eventually find your groove when you keep working at it. If you will say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to take 2 months off and then I'm on the third month, I'm really going to do this, it's not going to work. You need to be consistent with it for you to see results, right? Because results, they don't come right away. When you plant the seed, right, you reap later on, but
Mhm.
you also reap more. You don't just reap one seed, you reap an entire tree that comes with more seeds, right? So just have that right perspective as you're building a business, I think.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you have to set yourself realistic expectations, and everybody's different. You can't base your results on somebody else's results.
Yeah.
Don't be looking at somebody. If somebody else is making, $35,000 a month, it doesn't mean that you are going to make 35. That's not your road. That's not your
Mhm.
road to travel on. Your time will come, and you might not even be making 35. You might be making 45.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you've got to plant that seed, water it, and then you get to reap the reward. Sometimes reaping the reward, it doesn't mean it's going to be monetary. You know, you could be
Exactly.
reaping the rewards by, learning how to do adverts, learning
Yeah.
how to do go lives, going on these conventions,
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
there's different ways of reaping the rewards
Yeah.
along the
And
way.
applying those things also has its own reward too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So, what's the most common mistake you see new people make, and how can anybody coming into this business avoid it?
Oh
Um,
gosh.
well, one of the things we talked about is being intentional. And one of the with that, one of the things that pops in my mind immediately is, you know, we hear the person saying, we're ready, they're ready, they want to see the results, right? See that tree, but then taking the steps and being coachable and trainable is not it's not there necessarily. And so they want to see those results, but being intentional, the intentionality is not always there, not placed there, unfortunately. But um, that doesn't mean that they'll stop there. That means that we have a conversation, we talk about it, you grow your skills, you move forward step by step, right? So you don't just stay in one place and say,
Right.
okay, I'm not going to be coachable, I'm not trainable. It's no, you actually can make a decision to move and take intentional steps. So yeah.
Interesting. Very. So obviously, people coming into this, they're going to say, "Well, what type of support am I going to get?" Support is key for someone new to
Mhm.
this business. So how do we guide them and support these new team members?
That's a good question.
Mhm.
I guess with social media now, right? You don't really know who to trust, and if they're gonna do what they're telling you, what they're saying before you sign the dotted line, right? But for our business, so let me see. Our system has been around for almost 12 years now, 11 or 12 years.
Yeah.
And we're only scratching the surface. And the reason for that is because of this. It's because of how well we support, especially new people. So, everybody, but especially new people. So, we have a dedicated platform specifically. It's called Flock, but it's a business communication platform where you really do get access to your mentors and coaches, right? You can leave them a message any time of day because we're global. So we have different time zones. So you can leave them a message, and we have a 24 to 48-hour rule to get back to you. Like, we have to get back to you. Um, so just so that you are not stuck, right? And you always have guidance. So this is not one of those businesses where you pay for your investment and that's it, you're on your own. I'm sorry, like, bye,
Mm,
right? We actually run with our people. And so over the almost 6 years now, we have about over 500 people now, oh, maybe 600. I can't
Over
remember.
600, yeah.
And not one of those people, by the way, we recruited or prospected. It's all through ads. So that's the beauty of this business. But 500 people, two coaches, um, if it's just us, right, that will guarantee you support, that's not possible. But we have a way of mobilizing, everybody to
Mhm.
participate in supporting one another. And I think that's why this business system has grown so much, is because we look out for each other. And
yeah.
you will not find this anywhere else, because we've talked to people, we've talked to thousands of people by now, and their number one thing is, I don't really care about the investment, but I want to know if I'm going to be supported, if there's actually a person that I can talk to, I can message for when I'm stuck. Because in this previous thing with the Amazon, with the courses, after they took my money, they're just gone, right? And so we can proudly say, you know what, this is not the type of business, because we have coaches, we have mentors, we have coaches, like you can reach out to whoever you can have access to and pick their brain. That's the beauty of this business. So we have that in the system, it's ingrained. And so you're not going to get lost because we know how to do it. We guide you through step by step. If you're intentional in telling your coaches and your mentors where you're at, like Andrew is very good at that. Every week he goes,
Yep.
you know, I'm already here, just giving you a heads up. So, you know, everybody is informed and you walk together. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, that's the good thing about Flock. Like, let's say you guys are my coaches. I don't necessarily have to reach out to you. There are hundreds of coaches out there, and I can reach out to Dave, to Dexter, to Michelle, whoever, and just put the question out there in that group, and one of them will get back to me. And it might not be the answer that I was looking for from yourselves. It could be something completely different. Plus, we have this awesome video-based training, which is the step-by-step video-based training. So, you know, that alone there, you can take your time. It's not like being at college where you have to, okay, I've got to get this done before the next one starts, or am I going to be the last one in the class or whatever. You just take your time and learn as you go along. And if you get stuck, then you speak to your mentor, you speak to your coach, and it gets you moving along, and everybody's happy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's a direct line to a real person. It's not AI, it's not bots. It's a real person.
Right. So if you had to start from scratch, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
I would start sooner. No, seriously. That's the first thing that popped in my mind. I did not wait. Just notice that. I didn't wait to answer. I didn't think about it. It was already there. I would start sooner. That's what I would do. Right? Just knowing just knowing what we know now, what we've been able to learn. We spoke about personal growth earlier. We talked about just growing in business, teaching our children values that the business, based on the learnings through doing a business, we've been able to pass it on to them, and we will continue to pass it on to them. So the exponential growth that comes with running a business, it's invaluable. It really is. So, and the rewards as well. So it's very, very good.
I mean, when we found this business, September of 2019, I think we were business owners within 2 weeks of finding the business. So we started like pretty much like right away, right? We didn't kind of wait, but I wish we found the business in like 2017, like, because the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit, you know? So I think we would have a beach house by now if we started like 2 years earlier. For real. That's because, you know, Andrew, you know the earning potential of this business, right?
Oh, definitely.
It's exponential. So with just that 2 years, but it's okay because we're here now. So we have that 2 years to acquire one. But it's just, time, you know, because time is gonna pass anyway. So like, what are you waiting for, really? And you'll never be ready. You'll never ever be ready to. It's a myth for you to be like, you know, when I'm fully ready and the stars are aligned, then I'm gonna do it. That moment never comes. So you're waiting for a day that never comes. So just do it now.
So Renee with the beach house.
You know what?
I said to myself I was going to behave, but I just got to. Renee is bougie, you know. She is bougie.
No, but you know what? That's part of the mindset shift that's happened to us, because as an employee, you're told what you can and can't do.
Yes.
But with a business, you really design I mean, come on. we just moved into our house that the business paid for. So 2 weeks ago. So that's why you haven't probably, I don't know, Andrew, if you noticed, but we haven't been online too much, right?
No, I saw you
Because
unpacking boxes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But today we got 4 automated sales that could potentially turn to $20,000 worth of business deals.
Just like that.
Just
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
While we were running around trying to, open boxes, and we ordered furniture online. Everything's done online now, so we might as well do business online. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, the time freedom, right? There are no limits. And if you want a beach house for your family, if you want to support an orphanage, you need an injection of income that's never going to come from your paycheck. So just think about that, right? You gotta dream bigger. And if you're one of those people, by the way, who, if you say your dream or tell your dream to somebody and you get laughed at, those are not your people. We are. Because you need to be around people who want the same things as you. You're not crazy. You're just around the wrong people.
Yeah, and telling the wrong people. That's it. That's all.
As they say, steel sharpens steel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got to be around the same people.
Yeah.
But it's funny you saying you would have started this business earlier, because I actually saw this. I've been in this business like 1.5 years, 2 years now. I actually saw this business about 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago.
Oh.
And I signed up, and then I asked for a refund.
Right.
So if I had kept going back then, I would have had that beach house.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For real, Andrew.
Yeah, I would have had the beach house. But, everything happens for a reason. For me, it just didn't feel like the right time. I had other things going on. But as you say, it's never going to be the right time. So this time around, I did it. The other thing about this, I wasn't going to mention it. I'm sure if Roger won't mind. When I saw you guys doing your ads, because I followed you, I creeped you for a long time watching you. Yeah, because I was stalking. And you were doing all your videos. And this is what I mean by Renee being bougie, because if that beach don't have white sand or pink sand, she
does love her white sand.
Yeah, like she ain't there. If that beach looks like it's just a slightly dark gray volcanic, that she isn't there.
No, sir. No.
I watched Renee doing ads where she's like, I've got to take the garbage out. I've never seen somebody take garbage out with full makeup, lipstick, skin tight dress, her Imelda Marcos shoes, and she's taking out garbage. So, and then she's sitting there eating the cucumbers afterwards. So it's all cool. It's all good. But no, I was still skeptical right up until the week before I was going to sign. And I'm still watching you guys' ads. And then there was an ad where Roger you guys were in Jamaica at the time.
Yeah.
I believe. When Roger came on by himself without you. And he was doing it, and he wasn't his usual jovial self. And then he broke down and started crying. And that was for his mother passing away. R.I.P. Mom. And that was 24th of February. And the reason I remember the date is because it's my mom's birthday as well.
Yeah.
So that's what made me join the business.
Wow.
So you never know who is watching you when you put these videos out.
Wow.
So there you go. Just a little tidbit right there.
I already knew that. You didn't.
Yes.
But it's always a good story because it's true. Like you can show up authentically you.
Yeah.
And that captures people's attention, because there's so many fake stuff going on now, especially with AI, right? But if you show that emotion, it all builds your business.
Yeah.
Vulnerability builds your business. Success builds your business. Like anything, your story builds your business.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching. I've got some videos out on YouTube. I got maybe 12, 13, 14 videos on YouTube. And somebody got back to me one time on one of my videos and just said, thank you. I really needed to hear that.
Wow,
Wow.
nice. It's
And
always a good thing.
yeah, so you never
Priceless.
know.
Yeah.
Mm.
So where are we now? Let's talk about lifestyle for a second. What kind of lifestyle changes have personally experienced since starting? I know you're on like your 15th house now. So, so
No. Yeah, we've been moving quite a bit
Yeah.
because like Andrew mentioned, we were living in Jamaica for a year, about a year from 2022 to 2023.
how did
And
that come
then,
about? The whole going to Jamaica thing. Obviously,
So
it's through the business, which has
yeah,
allowed you to do this.
I allowed it. Yeah,
a
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Like we wouldn't even have considered it at all if we didn't have a way to earn income from anywhere,
Hmm.
right? Because we are very location dependent when it comes to our jobs.
Right.
So yeah, without the business, but it was really great, Andrew. Like earning Canadian and spending Jamaican.
Yeah.
Man,
And I think that's what a lot of for those who are immigrants, right? Whether you're from Mexico, whether you're from Ghana, whether you're from Nigeria, Jamaica, Barbados, well, no matter where you're from, you want to be able to. Maybe you're in the UK now. You're living in the UK, living in the US, Canada. You want to be able to travel and
Mhm.
still earn that currency while you're doing. You know,
Yep.
that's priceless.
yeah. So we really enjoyed it. I mean, it was because of mom too,
Hmm.
because she was in and out of the hospital during that time.
Right.
So you know what? We decided I wasn't working because the business was already has already replaced my income. And Roger was doing a remote contract at that time, but the business was already, established.
Right.
So we just up and moved, really. Like we left our mattresses. We had a couple ND mattresses. We just left it because we're like, we're gonna go to the beach now. Um, and we found an international school for the kids there. And yeah, it was like business as usual. We just picked up where we left off after we unpacked the boxes. And yeah, it was great. We still talk about it to this day. The reason why we left was because mom passed,
Yeah.
and also his contract needed him to be back in Canada. That's the only thing. It's
Right.
like,
But the
um,
beauty of that is as well with the online business is you didn't have to ask no employer for time off to say, "Oh, I've got to go see my mom. My mom said I'm
You
going to
got
be,
it.
I ain't got to, I'm going to be gone a week. I'm going to be gone 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You just get up and you go."
Yeah.
yeah, and beyond the monetary stuff, because you don't know when people are gonna go, and
We are frozen again. So hopefully, give them a couple minutes. They'll be back. Oh, there they are.
And we're good. Okay.
very good.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
So I was saying you don't really know when people are gonna go when it's their time. And with mom, I told him I thought we had more time with her because she was so sharp here, right?
Yeah.
So I said, no, she's gonna be okay. But we didn't know that during that same year, while we were there in Jamaica, it just so happened that like that was God ordained that we were there, and she passed. So
Right.
if it wasn't for this business, she would have passed there, and we would have been here in Canada, and we would have scrambled
Yeah.
to do all that, not to mention not having spent time with her, the kids not being able to spend time with her on her last days.
Mm.
So that's just something money will never be able to buy you,
Nope.
you know.
Mhm.
So it pays to have a system that works when you can't. It pays to have a system that does that for you. Like I've been a stay-at-home mom for the last 5 years, so lifestyle's way different. Like I don't go out when it's snowing and drive, and no commute times, nothing like that for me,
Yep.
which is a huge, huge blessing, especially when you get a ton of snow where you are. I wake up and I go downstairs and that's it. I check my phone and that's the business, right? That's your income right there. And we're with the kids, we put them to bed, we don't miss any nighttime routines, so
Excuse me.
it's just night and day. And for regular people to be able to do this, for a person who has no experience, no business background, to have this chance to make this change for themselves and their families is a huge deal. This is very underrated.
And this is what a lot of people seem to think when they look in on this. Oh, I don't have no techie experience. I don't have this. I don't have that. We got people in the business, like I said earlier, who are construction workers, who are in IT, who are nurses, who are garbage truck drivers. We've got reverends. I say a reverend and pastors. I've seen people as young as, I think he was 18. Is that the youngest person we got? 18?
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen an old lady who was 70. So it's from all walks of life. But as long as you apply yourself, you can do it. You can do it. You just got to have the mindset shift, as we said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So last one, before we wrap up here, what's one piece of advice you wish someone had told you before you started?
Ooh, one piece of advice somebody told me, or I wish somebody told me.
Wish somebody had told me.
That I have to take it seriously because it's going to change my life. It's not a scam. Like, if I always think about that. What would I have told myself back in 2019 when I was so scared and I didn't know where to look and how it was going to end up? And I always have this message of like, you're in the right place at the right time, so take it seriously. Because if somebody had just told me that with no strings attached, I think I would have really enjoyed the startup and not be so like concerned. Oh my gosh, what is this a scam still? Like, I know I'm in it already, but I'm not sure still, right?
Yeah.
But now I can honestly say, for people who are like me, who've been watching you, maybe Andrew, for years, or maybe you have a good job. Like we helped a couple of people, a lawyer, an architect, and a physician start a business, right? All those people, they have $300,000 a year, maybe in earnings, but what they don't have is time.
They don't have the time because they're working 23 hours a day.
Yeah. So I say to you now, for people who don't necessarily need the money, but you need the time, this is it. This is it, right? Because you're on social media anyway. You're using your Facebook or Instagram an hour a day, maybe. Why not use that as a commission machine? Get commissions off the back end. You can set up your profiles like that, so you can earn commissions while you're online. This is a different era. This is a different age now. You don't have to go to a specific location to earn a living. So that's what I would say I wish somebody told me that, like, just held me and said, hey, look, this is the age now. It's a multi-billion industry. Look at it now. It's kind of like Amazon maybe 12 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago, and nobody knew it. Nobody knew it. So I tell you right now, this is the next Amazon.
Oh, most definitely.
Right?
Yeah. When somebody, if you get that person who just comes and says to you, back in 2019, this is what they would be asking you, what is your why? Why do you want to do this? And for people who don't know what we're talking about with whys, it's like my why was to pay off my daughter's tuition
Mm.
and to supplement my pension for later on in life. So everybody's got a why. Some people don't even know they have a why. But once you have that why, and it's a big enough why for you to work towards it, then you're going to succeed. You will succeed. But it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not going to happen overnight. You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
So, and that's what a lot of people are afraid to do. Put in the work, but they want the results now.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because we always get asked, is this legitimate, right? Is this a legitimate business? And we say, yeah, you got to put in the work. It takes time because that's how businesses are, brick and mortar businesses.
Yeah.
They don't even see ROI for after like 5 years or so, right? So when we tell people that, they go, takes long, must not be legitimate. It's like, what? Anything that you have to build yourself, it takes time,
It
whether
takes
online
time.
or offline. So
Yeah, it takes time. Phew. Well, that was packed with value. That whole thing was packed with value. So if you've been watching live or on the replay and you're thinking, you know what, this might be for me, trust your gut instinct, and just say, you know what, I'm gonna give this a try. You don't have to be great to start, but you do need to start to be great. So you're not going to get nowhere just sitting there saying, nah, well, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes, I'll do it the day after, and then the day after, and the day after. And before you know it, you're 55, coming on 60, because you've let 20 years go past, 10 years go past of, I'm going to do it tomorrow. So I know there's going to be some people out there thinking, well, what if I fail? And that is a natural feeling to have, but you've got to give yourself permission to fail. But at least you tried. But then you've got to ask yourself this: what if I succeed? So if I succeed, endless opportunities if I succeed. So, also, as I said in the beginning, we are business owners. So let's not get that confused with being self-employed. Being self-employed, you're doing all the work yourself. You can't take time off. You can't say, I'm going to go and live in Jamaica for a year, because if you're a construction worker and you lay bricks or whatever, you take 2 weeks off, you're not getting paid for 2 weeks. Whereas when you're a business owner like we are, you build a system that works with or without you. So don't get them confused, don't get them twisted. So if anybody has any questions, or you want to learn more, you could just drop me a DM. You would have been seeing my my details scrolling across the bottom of the screens. You should have done. So right now you got, let's start up here. That's my Facebook and Instagram. You will find me on Brit to Can. You can email me, www.andrewestwick.com, one word. info@andrewestwick.com. I put 2 Ks in there? I can't even see.
no, I think it's okay. It's good.
Okay. So, and as I said earlier, I've got my YouTube channel. Go over to YouTube and you just look for Andrew Estwick. I've got, like I say, at least a dozen videos on there, which is bound to help out one person. But you got to remember this: nothing changes if nothing changes. Always put up those 5 fingers. It's not $5 foot long. It's nothing changes if nothing changes. So I'd like to thank my guest, Miss Roger. because I miss him. He's gone.
Sorry, he's with the kids right now.
He's with the kids right now. So Roger and Renee, aka Renee. So I haven't called you Renee for the whole thing. So,
Thankfully.
Thank you very much for your time. Until next time, basically, stay inspired, stay hungry, and remember, your current situation is not your final destination. Thank you very much, people. Until we meet again, God bless.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.